stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
We have a simple philosophy that we go by. Attitude, commitment, class. Attitude, always have a positive attitude. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% on how you react to it. Commitment, make a total and unconditional commitment to our program, to our academics, to our families. Class, always carry yourself in a first-class manner. We have 4 guys who did not carry themselves in a first-class manner. We had to suspend them for this game. We'll have them back for Tuesday's game, and hopefully we can put this behind us. As for the game, I thought Ohio did a great job of doing what they were supposed to do. And we didn't have enough firepower to fight back, and that was the game.
A little bit about the players. The statement was that they didn't follow team rules. Right. Is there anything you want to elaborate on?
No, it's exactly what I said. They did not carry themselves in a first-class manner. I expect them to, we hold them to a higher standard. And whether that's academically, athletically, socially, they have to do the right thing at all times. And you know, once I get wind of something like that, then if you don't discipline yourself, then I have to. And that was what happened.
In the terms of Ali and Lillard, they also were suspended for that first game to start the season.
Yes.
There was no carryover beyond, in terms of, did you think about maybe this is a second time there's kind of a stepladder approach to this, or?
It's a situation where you have to look at what you have, and I don't want to jeopardize our football players and having them play basketball for us. So we have already injuries that we have. Obviously, we can't play with 7 players for that long of a period of time and risking someone else getting hurt. So it was a decision that I made, and that's what it is.
Was there thought given to perhaps splitting them up?
And we're dealing with this for not only this game, then the next game, then the next game. So now you made everything longer and bigger than what it needed to be, and I didn't want to do that as well.
What was the reaction from the kids who were not punished when they heard about the punishment?
It was a reaction of disappointment. I mean, disappointed in their teammates and disappointment in how they handled themselves. And, you know, it was time for us to move on. We had to prepare for Ohio as best we could. We had to scramble to get 2 football guys in to help us, and T.O. and Hunter, and they did an excellent job in providing us quality 5 minutes for one and actually 5 minutes for both. So they gave us a good 10 minutes, and they scored 11 points. So that shows if you do the right thing, you're able to score. When you got guys who don't know anything about your offense and what you're running, I just asked those guys to roll to the front of the rim every single time in Hunter, and he did, and scored 6 points and just rolling to the front of the rim in 5 minutes. So, I mean, what does that say about our guys who we have on the court and that we've been practicing that the whole time, and you know, we still have some that can't do it.
Well, you talked a little bit about the opportunity for the guys who are on your roster, and I'm thinking guys like, well, we had Malik in here, obviously. That is, you know, hands down extended run for him. Also, Caldwell at the point got another chance to start in the lead, and Fry, you used at the point some. Can you just talk a little bit about, is that the bright spot to take from this game, as you get a chance to see some of these guys and evaluate them in this situation?
It was definitely a bright spot. They put me in a situation where I would not hesitate to put them back in. They did a great job of holding their own. I thought we had to play them too many minutes, but we had no choice. I couldn't risk our football players, you know, at the sake of winning the game and trying to win a game. Not saying that they would have won the game for us, but just injuries is what always play a part in the back of my head. And So didn't want to do that to those guys. And Malik did a great job. 9 rebounds, 7 points, or something like that. He did a great job with those numbers, and he did exactly what I wanted him to do. He defended well. Dylan did a great job in using ball screens and coming off ball screens, hitting the shots, finding an open man. Roderick did a great job in coming off ball screens as well. They did a decent job of guarding. So I'm happy with what we did today on the court. And Ethan Good was really good on Simmons. So I was really happy and pleased with the way he guarded Simmons. And we did a much better job on Dartis in the second half. He didn't score. He had 16 points at halftime, finished the game with 16. So we had little things that we wanted to accomplish, and we did. So I'm happy with what our guys did with what we had.
Is it hard for you as the coach to, okay, the kids have done what they've done, you suspended for a game, they've sat through their suspension, now we move forward. Is it hard in your mind to put that behind now and move forward, or?
I have to. If I continue to dwell on that, I'll drive myself crazy and those guys crazy as well. And the thing is to try to move on as quickly as possible, and so we can get back to what we do. And it's hard not to think about that for the rest of the evening. But now it's on to Miami, and that's the next goal, is to try to figure out a way to beat Miami. And we can't go back to this day. We can't go back to play this game over. We do get another opportunity to play them over at OU, but until then, Miami's next up.
Do the guys respond to the punishment in a constructive way, especially the young guys? It makes you feel like they can take this as sort of a learning experience and become better as a result of it?
I think it's a learning experience for all of those guys. I think they accepted it and understood what it was. The young guys know what it is, and they understand. And we have a great group of young guys, so I don't expect to have this problem or issue in the future. I mean, our young guys are good academically. They do what they're supposed to do. And, they do it to the best of their abilities, and that's all I ask.
How much of a strain does it put on you when you're fighting, I guess, for as high a seed as you can? And I know we're ways from the MAC tournament, but you've lost 5 of the first 7 MAC games, and then at this point something like this comes along, it really hardly gives you a chance going into the game. I mean, how difficult is it?
It's a process. We're building to become what we want to be, and eventually we'll get to that point, but you got to build it up first. If it was already here, probably wouldn't be here at this stage. So we're still in that process of building it up, and we got to take care of some things first before we get to that stage. Still a lot of season left. Anything change. You can get hot, you know that. Anybody can get hot and win a couple games, and now everyone forgotten all about this. It won't come up unless one of you guys bring it back up again. But other than that, it's something that we still have to build, and it's a process. It's going to take a while. I mean, it takes time. It's not something that's a quick fix. You get a quick fix, and then you're right back to square one with the whole thing. You still got to build it up. And that's what Akron has done. That's what OU has done. Those guys have built up the program, and where it's sustained year in, year out. They may not win a championship, but they're in the hunt every year for a championship. And that's my ultimate goal, is to try to build this up where we're in the hunt year in, year out. You talk about Bowling Green basketball.
It's disappointing for, doesn't matter who the guys are, 4 guys, whatever, but for 2 of them to be seniors, captains, to be part of it, to have to be punished. I mean, how does that add a level of disappointment?
It's always disappointing, especially when it's your older guys, but you also got to think, where did they come from? What did they learn? Who did they learn it from? And that's what's passed on to the next guys. So in order to clean it up, you got to stop somewhere, and this is the stop. And now we got to move on. So whatever the issue is, may be, is something that you build. So when you have strong leadership, when Dylan and those guys become of age, now you got a strong leadership and build it up. There you go.
Talk about Dylan's performances. Just like, I mean, obviously he's been starting and scoring a lot, obviously contributing a lot on the offensive side to, something a little different than what we've been talking about so far. But just talk about kind of him as a contributor and just how well he's been stepping up, considering he is.
Freshman first, the looks fool everyone. When they see him, they see the baby-faced kid, and he looks like a baby, and I could bully him and beat him up. So that's the first thing, is deceiving of him. But he plays hard all the time, and he has an edge to him. He has that chip on his shoulder that he walks around with. Everyone thought he wasn't good enough, or he couldn't do this good enough, and he wants to prove everybody wrong. And he's been doing a great job for us. He plays hard all the time. He gives you everything in practice, gives you everything in the game, and all of the other stuff will come as he gets bigger, stronger, able to hold guys off on the defensive end. All of that is a process, but he's gaining valuable experience right now from the playing time that he's getting, and hopefully that'll continue for him this season and carry over in the next.
I know you talked about kind of having short-term memory, obviously moving past all of this, but how do you kind of make sure that your guys are doing the same? I mean, do you already feel it's kind of short-term memory with what's happening? Or what just happened?
As far as the situation, I mean, we'll see on Tuesday how we react to the situation. I mean, hopefully this game is not a carryover into other games, and they have to earn the respect back of their teammates and the coaching staff, and that's all we can do.
So we won't see you football guys anymore?
They'll retire. We're going to put those jerseys up. What are they, 22 and 24? We're going to put the jerseys up and hang them up in the locker room. So they'll be at every game with us.